The Barricade HD tire carrier for OEM tire mount is for those of you that have a 2007 to 2018 JK that are running a larger than factory tire, want to be able to carry a larger than factory spare tire, but want to avoid all of the issues that can come with mounting a much larger and heavier spare tire in the factory location without any modifications. So if you're trying to put a big tire on your factory spare tire mount, one, you may just not have enough room. The tire could make contact with the bumper, not allowing you to close the tailgate properly. Another issue you can have is that the tire can fatigue and eventually wear out the tire carrier itself. That mount is designed only for the weight of a factory spare tire, and when you put a much larger, heavier spare on there, especially because it's not going to be tight up against the tailgate properly, it can move around, torque, eventually break the metal of that tire mount itself. You can wear it on the welds of the tailgate. The tailgate can actually start to come apart on you. That'll of course cause some noise and eventually complete failure of the tailgate. And the tailgate hinges can also wear out on you because of the additional weight of a larger spare, making it so that you have to lift up on the end of the tailgate every time you open it and close it. So in order to fix some or all of those problems, you really have two main choices. One is going with a bumper mounted tire carrier, and the other is going with a tub mounted tire carrier. Now, a lot of people like a tub mounted tire carrier, myself included, because in order to open the tailgate, you don't have two steps. You don't have to first open the tire carrier, then open the tailgate. This is all going to open with the factory tailgate latch. So it's going to lock, it's going to open with one hand in one motion, which makes it much, much easier. The other benefit to a tub mounted tire carrier is the fact that you can get whatever bumper you want. You don't have to pick a bumper that has a tire carrier to go with it. So that does open up some additional options for bumper choices for you if you decide to go with an aftermarket bumper. Now, this piece that we're talking about today is going to be an easy 1 out of 3 wrench install. We'll talk more about that in just a second. This is going to bolt right up to the tailgate. And what this is really going to do is replace your factory hinges, giving you a much stronger hinge, but also reinforce the whole area across the back of the tailgate so that you don't have to worry about those welds breaking as we just talked about. Now, this is designed to be used with the factory spare tire mount. So the issue of that mount fatiguing and breaking, that tire not fitting tight up against the tailgate, torquing around, moving, eventually causing that metal to fail, that issue is not going to be solved by this piece here. There are options for beefed up tire mounts that you can use with this tire carrier that will solve all of the issues of running a big spare, but by itself, as this stands, this is going to fix the hinge issue, it's going to fix the tailgate weld issue, but it's not going to fix the tire mount issue. So just keep that in mind. Of the other options out there on the market, there's one from Rugged Ridge, there's of course the option from TerraFlex. This is going to be a pretty good choice. It is going to be less expensive than those other options, which is really nice. This is going to be a little bit heavier because it's a steel instead of aluminum. It's not going to have all of the brass sleeving that can come in some of the hinging to ensure that things continue to work very smoothly over a very long period of time. If you have a higher budget, you're looking for the premium option and you have the premium budget to go along with it, those options certainly do exist. We have those on the site. Again, the TerraFlex option being one of them. If you are looking to save a little bit of money, this is going to be an excellent choice as well. As for the construction, this is going to be all steel. It does come with a textured black powder coat finish on it, like most of the other aftermarket accessories you'll purchase and bolt onto your Jeep. As you can see here, it does have the spot for your hinges. This does come with the hinge side as well, so you're going to completely remove that factory hinge off your Jeep and be using the new hinge that comes with your tire carrier. Essentially what this does is this becomes the structural part and your tailgate gets bolted onto this versus your tailgate being the structural part that your tire is bolted onto, which can cause those failures. So this ends up carrying all of the weight. You mount your factory spare tire mount right here in this space, the tire gets mounted right onto that. Again, this replaces the hinges. It really does take care of 2 of those 3 issues of running a big heavy spare. This spare tire carrier is going to come in at $300. And I don't think that's going to be a bad price for what you're getting. If you do step up and you also purchase the spare tire mount, of course that's going to add a little bit to the cost of this, but that is going to solve all of the issues of running a big heavy spare, where this only solves really 2 out of 3. Now we'll have a member of the install team show you how you get this installed on your JK.
As you can see, our spare tire is already removed. We didn't want to bore you with the details. We're going to go ahead and get our tire carrier removed now. We're going to begin by unplugging our third brake light, getting the wire out of the way. Then we're going to remove the bolts around the perimeter. We're missing a few here. Yours will have all 8 of them. Ours is using a 13mm socket. We're going to go ahead and get these bolts removed. Next, we're going to go ahead and get our rubber bumper isolator out of the way, followed by the covers of our hinges. You want to be gentle with these, make sure you don't break them. They are rubber and the little tab on the inside usually snaps off. Just take your time. Now we're going to remove the covers off of our hinges. Now these just snap right on. Go ahead and give it a tug. They pop right off. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and unbolt our hinges from our tailgate. We're gonna leave our tailgate latch. Hopefully this will stay in place for alignment. Now to remove the bolts from the tailgate, we use a 13mm socket. Now the bolts that are on the body are a little bit different. They're Torx bits. We're gonna use a T50 to get those off, and we're gonna take our time with these because we don't want to strip them out. Now, as you can see with our hinges off, the paint's a little discolored underneath. That's because when they painted these, they painted them with the hinges on already. You wanna go ahead and hit this with a little bit of spray paint, a little touch-up paint, get it cleaned up. This will prevent rust. Certain parts of the world, we do get more rust than others. All right, now let's move on to the installation of our new tire carrier. Now, assuming that you did not strip out any of your factory hardware, we're gonna go ahead and get our new tire carrier installed using our original hardware. We're going to begin by our brackets that bolt to the body that hold the new hinge in place. When installing your brackets, you're going to want to leave them a little loose just so we can get the alignment and everything correct. Now that our hinge mounts are in place, we're going to go ahead and get our new tire carrier on here and in place. With our new tire carrier mount, it sits flush up against the tailgate, so this vent's going to be in the way. We're going to go ahead and get that out of the way and install the new one. We're going to go ahead and install our tire carrier mount. Now to replace our old vent, we have this piece of foam that they provide us with. So this will keep the water out, but it'll also relieve the pressure inside when you go ahead and close your doors. Just peel off the 3M tape on the back and stick it over the hole. That's gonna sandwich between our new tire carrier and our tailgate. Once you slide your carrier into place, go ahead and drop the pins in. Now we can go ahead and get this mounted to our tailgate using the factory bolts. Now we can go ahead and snug these down. Now that we have it snugged down to our tailgate, we can go ahead, finish our alignments, and get our hinges locked down into place on the body. Now, using a ratchet, sneak in behind here, tighten your mounts down. Now using a dead blow hammer, you're gonna wanna go ahead and tap your pins down into place. I recommend using a dead blow hammer instead of a steel hammer because with the rubber coating on the outside of it, if you tap your vehicle or you hit the hinge itself, it's not gonna chip off your finish or mar the end of your hinge pin. Okay, now this part's gonna be a little bit more difficult than anything else you've done. You're gonna install the C-clips on the bottom of your hinge pins. Now you're gonna do this with a pair of needle nose pliers and carefully slide them over, but make sure you have eye protection on just in case the clip gets loose on you. Now that our new hinge and bracket are mounted to our vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and get our factory tire carrier mounted back on top of it. All right, now just lining it up with the factory holes, go ahead and reinstall your factory tire carrier. And just plug your third brake light back in. Now at this point, you can go ahead and reinstall your spare tire, or maybe you have a new set of wheels with a bigger tire on it. That's what this is great for. This reinforces your hinges and makes your tailgate stronger. For more parts and videos like these, make sure you come visit us at ExtremeTerrain.com.